Hello everyone, my name is Puamana and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about a very common confusion among my students and not only, probably anybody watching this video at some point in their life has asked this question. Today we are going to talk about Знам, Зная and several other verbs that are based on it, like Познавам, Разпознавам, Запознавам, Запознавам се. Maybe the first question almost every time that we introduce the verb to know, Знам, I get the question, what's the difference between Знам and Зная? No difference. I personally tend to use more Знам, but Зная means absolutely the same. There is no difference in the meaning, there are not different aspects. We just have two forms for the first person only for us. We don't have different forms for ti, for toi, for tя, for nie, for vie, for te. It is always group A. Eș, nie zna, em, and so on. But based on Знам or Зная, whichever you like more, we have several variations that start to confuse people a lot. Let's clear them a little bit at least, and let's make your life a little bit easier today. Starting with Запознавам се. I know this is not the shortest way, but this is when we introduce ourselves to somebody else, when we meet them for the first time, and we'll use it with Запознавам се Maria. I'm meeting Maria for the first time and we exchange our names. Now we know each other. If I only say Аз знам Maria, I know who Maria is. I know who the person behind the name is, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we are acquaintances. But Запознавам се means to get acquainted with somebody. Then Запознавам Maria with somebody else. For example, let's say a third person over here. Ivanka. Let's make her Ivanka. Запознавам Maria с Ivanka. I'm introducing Maria to Ivanka. That will be without se. Запознавам to introduce somebody with somebody else. And now, after we got acquainted with Maria, we know each other. So we will say Познаваме се с Maria. We know each other. Or I will say Познавам Maria. I know Maria. I am her acquaintance and I don't only know the name of her, but I personally got introduced at some point in our life. And then Разпознавам, to recognize. Познавам Maria на снимката. I recognize Maria on the picture. I know who Maria is from all the people on the picture, for example. And then all these verbs that we have. Знам, запознавам, Запознавам се, познавам, разпознавам can be used in other contexts. They are not limited only to knowing people. For example, аз знам български език. I know Bulgarian language, French language. Then, I can have запознавам се с тази информация. Запознавам се с информацията по темата. I'm getting acquainted with the information on this topic. I introduce myself. No. I dive deeper into some information. Запознавам се с темата. I get to know the topic. Познавам темата. I know the topic in depth. And then разпознавам will still be to recognize. For example, разпознавам тази дума. Разпознавам този език. I recognize this word. I recognize this language. The curious maybe will be, For познавам, only познавам числата от лотарията. I guess the numbers from the lottery. Вие играете ли лотария и познавате ли често числата? Do you often play the lottery and do you actually guess the numbers correctly? Comment below, and if you have any similar confusions or any further questions on this topic about Знам, Познавам, Запознавам, Разпознавам, please let us know and we will be more than glad to answer them, and we will see each other in our next video. Bye for now!